In the Footstep Walk-and-Run event, Ingrid said this after seeing Raffi fully transform into Red Hood for the first time.
We've discovered here that you can become whatever person you envision in your own mind. By using the Nymph to insert specific data about an individual into their subconscious and making their personality theirs. And then reconstructing the body.
After reading this, I suddenly remembered what Nylaster told us in her Bond story about the Heretic creation process, where she revealed that only corrupted Nikkes can become a heretic. Now, the reason why this suddenly popped into my mind is because we know from the old Tales event story that the corruption code is a personality data, as the first code was originally based on the personality of Red Shoes, which was then upgraded by the Raptures into its current version. Now, we don't know whose personality it is that the improved version of the code was based on. Maybe it's based on the personality of another individual, or it could even be the Raptures as a collective. But that's not really what's important right now, because what's important is the fact that the corruption code is a personality data of someone or something that is loyal to the Rapture Queen and that it's written directly into the Nymph. Combine that with the fact that all heretics, including the Queen, went through a process where their bodies are reconstructed into their ideal forms, and I couldn't help but notice how similar this is to what Ingrid explained. So maybe the reason why only corrupted Nikkes can become heretics is because the personality data contained in the corruption code alters the ideal forms that the Nikkes envisioned in their minds into the rapturized version of it. This could be the reason why the ideal forms of all heretics, except Cinderella, involve having rapture aesthetics. And it's because these forms are the result of the personality data contained within the corruption code influencing the Nikke's mind. Because we saw it in Mirror Mirror that Cinderella's corruption told her that she can choose who she wants to become.
Mirror, mirror, who am I?
It's not important who you are. You can choose for yourself.
This suggests that the Nikkes themselves still has the final say on what form they are going to take when they become heretics. So even if you have a personality data in the Nymph, the transformation won't happen if the Nikkes themselves are unwilling to change. Which makes sense because we know that the other reason why Raffi was able to become Red Hood is because she herself wanted to become Red Hood. Now, we saw in the Old Tales event that Cinderella's corruption tried to brainwash her into serving the Queen.
Now go. Kill everyone. Do it for the goddesses.
Yes, for them.
Yes, everything for the goddesses.
Everything for the goddesses.
Everything for the goddesses.
Everything for the goddesses.
Everything for the Queen.
Everything for the Queen.
So what the corruption does is it forces its will upon the Nikke's mind. It convinces them that their true mission is to serve the Queen. And we already know that a Nikke's mission/purpose is what defines their ideal forms. This means that if they gain a new mission, it will also be reflected in their forms. So once a Nikke accepts that serving the Queen is their true mission, their bodies are reconstructed into a form that reflects this change in their minds. And I think it makes sense that serving the Queen would grant them a rapture-like appearance. But the brainwashing did not work on Cinderella, because despite her corruption's best efforts to convince her that serving the Queen is her true mission, Cindy was still able to retain her sense of self. And so what her corruption did next is it held her friends hostage. It threatened her that it's going to tear her friends into pieces using her own hands, and that it's going to force her to watch that scene forever if she ever strays from her true mission of serving the Queen.
Now, let's go over your mission once again. You don't want to see your friends killed by your own hand, do you? State your mission. Then you can be at ease.
And this is the part where it seemed like she finally gave in. Because in order to save her friends, Cinderella agreed to serve the queen and eliminate the queen's enemies, which basically means that she's going to eliminate the goddess squad with her own hands. But Cinderella never truly gave in. And I say this because we know that the only reason why she agreed to fight the goddess squad is because she had faith that the goddesses are the only ones who can stop her. And that's exactly what they did. Now, we also know that the reason why Cinderella became a Nikke is because she wants to become a goddess of victory. That is her true mission. That's what gave her this form, which is how she envisioned herself as a goddess of victory. So the fact that her appearance remained unchanged, save for the red eyes, is proof that she stayed true to this mission even after becoming a heretic and even after being unconscious for over 100 years. On the other hand, the rest of the heretics like Nihilister and Librario are the ones who accepted the mission of serving the queen. That's why their forms are more rapture-like, unlike Cindy's whose ideal form remained pure until the very end, proving to us that she truly is unbreakable.